Hey, Gav. How's it, Gavin? I think you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, there we go. These computers do things on their own, eh? They have a mind of their own.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, are you good?
Yeah, very well, thanks. And yourself?
That's great, man. What has I open? What's the protocol?
Ish, if only we knew. Did you listen to the president's speech last night?
Did he have a speech?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, there was some speech, something to do with the South African borders and the countries that are allowed into South Africa and not allowed. And then they made a complete mess. And then they made a list from June instead of one from September. And then they left some of certain countries. Oh, no, it was a big mess.
Sure. Yeah,
But,
no.
Yeah, not surprising. You know what I mean?
Not at all. Not at all.
And you guys, but anyway, every day is a step closer to some form of sanity.
Exactly.
Are you also working from home, or are you back in the office?
2 days in the office and 3 days at home.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as me. Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the office, and Mondays, Thursdays at home, and Fridays I don't work.
Okay.
Well, not supposed to work, but I'm working anyway.
Nice. I'm office Tuesday and Thursday, and then I'm home Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. No, okay. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what can we do?
Do you think
are you guys finding at least you getting some inquiries of South Africans traveling around South Africa?
Yeah, we do a lot. I think now that borders are open, people are wants to travel, man.
Yeah, no, of course.
People wants to travel. So
we all want to travel, even you and me.
yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, good man.
So do you think they're gonna have 14-day quarantine in Mozambique?
No, I don't think so.
Because I haven't had any official information coming from that side to say that they
are going to have a meeting this week, I believe. The last I heard, Cameron, was that it looks like they're going to do away with the quarantine to enter Mozambique, but they will obviously insist that you arrive with a negative COVID test.
Okay.
It looks like they would insist that you need to depart with one also, which also ties in with having to arrive back in South Africa with a negative COVID test. So the two options will be, one, you can either have a test done in Mozambique on 72 hours before departure, so that when you arrive back in South Africa, you have that negative test. Alternatively, if you arrive back in South Africa without a negative test, then you need to quarantine at home in South Africa until such time that you have then had a test done at your own doctor or home place, and showed that you have a negative test, and then you can return back to society or work or whatever. So if anyone is clever and they want to bunk work, they can say, oh, I'm having to do self-quarantine in my house. But we are waiting for all of this to be confirmed. So there have been some meetings with the health authorities and the government of Mozambique earlier this week. So we're waiting for something official to come out. It could come out any day now. You know, they will just publish something, a 30-page document, all in Portuguese, that we'll have to get translated and make some kind of sense of it. But we've had some senior people involved in those meetings, so that's the inside information which we are getting. So what we are working on at the moment in Vilanculos is to look at the option of getting a testing person that can be based on the island.
Nice, that would be great.
Yeah, so then you've got and Beyond and us, and then potentially even Anantara or whatever, if we all chip in for this person, keeping in mind we have a clinic on our island anyway, you know what I'm saying? But then you don't have to have the inconvenience of us having to send you over on a boat or on a helicopter to Vilanculos and then go to a place to have the test and etc. And then you waste a half a day doing this test. So we have made those proposals. We're just waiting for them to come back with example. I know some people recently left Mozambique and they did a test in Mozambique. The test was 3,000 mets, which is about 800 South African rand.
Not bad.
So that's more or less what we're hearing. But let's wait for the official something or other. You know, this is the problem. We're all eager and we're ready to run and go, but then we have to wait for government and health authorities and whoever to figure out what is what. You know.
Excellent. So we're gonna leave the room open so people will join as and when they are ready.
Okay.
So you can start with your training.
Perfect.
So you're gonna have to go to share screen.
Yeah. I just want to see something. I'm just trying to find the screen that I want to share. Hold on. Share all windows. There we go. Yeah. Are you? It's just my computer's doing one of those things where it says it's not responding right. Are you able to see my screen at the moment, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sharing. It starts sharing now.
Okay. That's fine. So is everyone and most of the people with us at the moment, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, well, great. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone has a lekker cup of coffee and a little bit warm today, seeing as though we're all most of us are working from home. What I just want to do today is just really give you guys just a basic update with a bit more detail as we can on our product Azura. Of course, what we know is that at the moment, we have a lot of South Africans that were used to traveling all over the world that are now going to be focusing on traveling closer to home. So in and around South Africa and in our close regional neighbors like Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique, Namibia, Botswana is going to become more and more attractive. So just very quickly, you guys all know that we have 3 products. We've got our Azura Benguela Island, which is our signature property. It's our most luxurious and exclusive one. I normally say that's the one that is sophisticated, it's exclusive, it's sexy, it's cosmopolitan, it's trendy, that kind of look. Then, on the same island, we had bought the old Marlin Lodge, and we had started revamping and renovating that earlier this year, with the hope that we were going to open around about August this year. Of course, when COVID hit, we had to stop all building work and all building teams had to leave. So we were unable to proceed with that. So we will continue with that and we will restart the building work in end of January next year, Cameron. And we're about 5 to 6 months away from being complete. So it looks like Marlin will only open around about July-ish next year, but we will keep everyone updated. So I wouldn't go into too much trouble of selling or marketing that product at this point, because we don't really know when the opening is going to be. So we stick to Azura Benguera. Then, of course, we've got Azura Kilauea, which is way up north, which is close to the town of Pemba. Kilauea at the moment is closed.
Just a sec, Gav. Do you mind to press a record?
Oh, hold on a second. Where do I push the record?
I think you did. It's recording now.
Yeah, I think it automatically records. I think it automatically records.
Cool.
Yeah, so Kilauea up north, that, as we know, there's quite a lot of political and terrorist activity happening up north near Pemba by the oil and the gas rigs and stuff in the Cabo Delgado province. So Kilauea is currently closed. So is Mozambique, so is Ibo, so is Vamizi, so are most products up north. Now, I can't tell you when Kilauea will reopen again because we don't know what is happening up there. So also understand, on Kilauea Island, there's no village on the island. So local people don't live on that island at all. So in terms of staff, it's not like on Benguera Island where 80% of our staff that work for us are from the villages on the island. So they go home in the evenings, they go be with their family, and they walk to work and they come and they work with us. When we don't have guests, they go home and they relax. And when we need them, we call them. At Kilauea, we can't do that. So at the beginning of lockdown, we had to send all the local staff home to be with their families. And then with all this issues up north, we just decided to close the property completely. Now, when and as occupancies pick up again, only when it gets a lot busier will we reopen Kilauea. So I can't see Kilauea opening before Easter next year. So between Easter or any time in the middle of next year, I think that's when Kilauea is going to reopen. So we would rather just keep Benguera open at this point. It is the signature property, keeping in mind what we will do at Benguera. Anyone that has a client that was maybe more interested in a Marlin or a Kilauea because of a deal or a special or a price, we will rather do a deal and still have them stay with us at Benguera, which is why we're doing some good deals at Benguera at the moment. Okay, now Benguera Island, we know, is the easiest one to access in terms of logistics. The flights that go Johannesburg to Vilanculos are 80 minutes. You can fly either with SA Airlink or LAM. Now, in terms of updated flight schedules, Cameron, we don't have them yet from Airlink or LAM. This should come out very, very soon. I'm told the first flight to Vilanculos, I think, is going to be around about the 19th of October of this month. I'm also hearing that they're probably going to start off flying only 2 days a week from South Africa into Vilanculos. The LAM scheduled routes, I don't know. So we are waiting on that. Keeping in mind, of course, once you arrive in Vilanculos, you then get transferred onto the island. Now, we used to only do the transfers with a helicopter, which often was a bit costly and expensive for South Africans. So what we've done now is we've acquired a proper transfer boat, and we're happy for our South African clients is to do a boat transfer to Benguera. And as I said, we're going to include that in the rate. So you would have seen the new special rates that I've sent you this morning. The net rate is I think on our entry beach villa is 3,500 a night per person. And that includes your return transfers. It's going to include a traditional Dow sunset sail. It's going to include a scenic island drive. It's going to include all your meals, your soft drinks, your local beers, your local wine. So it's actually a very, very good deal now to be able to access one of the most upmarket island properties, in and around Southern Africa. Okay, I don't know if you guys are aware of our Peri Peri Beach Club. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that just now, Cameron. But Peri Peri Beach Club has just been voted one of the top 20 beach clubs in the world. And that is 1 kilometer north of where Azura is. So our guests can walk there and get access into Peri Peri Beach Club. It's just a place to go to that is slightly different. It's a little beach club where you go in, there's a swimming pool, there's salas, there's treehouse salas, there's lounges, there's a restaurant, there's a bar. So, you know, sometimes you don't always want to be around a property. You know, when you're on the islands, you cannot go eat anywhere else other than at your lodge, because it's not like you're in a town or in a city like, you know, often Seychelles or Mauritius, Zanzibar, etc. So the reason we opened this Peri Peri Beach Club, you can walk there in your costume. We play funky music. You can order and make a pizza. You can have a peri peri, you know, a chicken or prego roll, burger, you know, these kind of things if guests just want to get away and do something a little bit different. Okay, so I want to just show you guys a little video, Cameron, which you guys can just watch. This is of Azura just to get you a better idea of what this product is like. And this is a link we can send you to share with any of your clients at any time that showcases the beauty of this island. Can you hear the sound, eh?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Just
Okay,
a
cool.
little bit soft, though.
It's 3.5 minutes long, so it's not very long. So you can imagine yourselves there with a cocktail.
Lovely property, eh?
Makes one really excited, eh? So
Yeah.
just before I tell you a little bit more about the property, Cameron, I want to raise a point, and I just want to talk about, you know, human beings and human nature. If we look at the world at the moment, just before COVID, we were living in a, well, and we still are living in a very stressed out world. we're living in a world which I like to call it very much external. Everything about human beings at the moment is about showing off. Let me show you the fancy clothes that I wear. Let me show you the nice car that I drive and my nice jewelry and my fancy kicks and my, my lovely Instagram posts. And wow, look at me, I'm living such a great life. And it's quite weird. It's everything was about showing off to other people. And I think since COVID has happened, human beings are going to want to become more selfish in the sense that things are going to be turned the other way around. We're now going to want things to be internal, which means we want to now say, what can we do that actually makes me feel better? What can I do that's going to add value to my life? How can I reconnect again with my loved ones or with my family or my partners? Whereas before it was almost the opposite way around. So I'm a very firm believer that the world we live in offers its own natural healing powers. People get emotionally stressed, people get physically stressed, and we take all sorts of medication and we do a range of things to try and make our lives better. But actually, nature can heal us completely on its own. Now, the three most important natural healing elements of the world and the universe is the sun, it's the earth, and it's the water. If you take any one of those away, the earth will collapse and we will die. So those three natural elements are the natural healing elements that we have. So it's quite interesting that when we often need healing in life, what we need time for ourselves. It's the one thing money can't buy you, but we need to recharge our own batteries. How stressed do we get when our cell phones are going flat? Oh, we need to recharge my phone. We need to recharge my computer battery. But what about our batteries? How do we recharge ourselves? And the only way to recharge ourselves is really to relax, to unwind. And the best way to do that, I can assure you, is to be at destinations where you are close to water, close to the earth, and you have warm weather. Warm weather, warm water, warm sand really offers natural healing powers. And I can tell you, one of the two things in the life that destroys most relationships is the lack of communication and the lack of romance. Why? Because people are stressed out. So I can promise you, when you come to a beach destination, not only are you going to have better communication because you'll be more relaxed, of course, you're going to be wearing less clothing anyway on a beach. So romance is going to come easy, and especially when you drink a couple of cocktails. So I normally say to people, if you want your life to be better, go to beach destinations. I know Zanzibar, Mauritius, Maldives, all of those are exactly the same. They also offer that same healing power. The only difference between what Mozambique offers to the likes of Zanzibar and Mauritius is it's a lot more exclusive, it's a lot more private, and it's a lot more relaxing because you're really, really on your own. You're not really around a lot of people. So I often look at, and as you know, I've worked at pretty much all the properties in and around Mozambique. So I know firsthand what most of the property's strengths and weaknesses are. But if we look at Mozambique as a destination, first of all, the fact that we have this incredible island that is just an hour and a half flight away from Johannesburg International Airport is incredible. It's very simple, very quick, and very easy to get to. And the big strength for me as well, specifically about Azura and Benguela Island, is that every one of the villas at Azura is directly on the beach. Remember, you look at products like Anantara, as nice as what it is, it's a big commercial product. Half of your villas aren't even on the beach. They're away from the beach, up on a mountain. Yes, they've got great views, but I think people want to be as close to the ocean and as close to the beach as possible. And that is vitally important. And it's not just your villas. You also have all of your communal areas at Azura, your bar, your restaurants, your lounges, your dining areas, your decks. All of that is one step on the sand, and 3 or 4 steps later, and you're in the ocean. And the ocean comes right up to the villas. And this is one of the areas on Benguela Island that has a phenomenal bay. So there's no of that coral rock, of the algae growing in the water like at and beyond. We don't have that hard coral volcanic rock in the ocean like Anantara has. You can walk into that water. We don't have sea urchins. We don't have razor clams. So it's really safe and clean. This is almost like that paradise water that people often see. So Azura as a product has a couple of key pillars that we believe very, very strongly on. And it's really these that we're just showing you. Everything about Azura is about wowing a client. So from the minute you set foot in this product, we go out of our way to do something that makes just the simplest things an extra wow. So service is hugely important. Now remember, every client that comes to Azura, you get your own private butler host that is there to serve and offer you a service. So you have the same guy throughout your stay that is there to ensure you have a fantastic time. Now, with the new COVID rules, what we are doing is we are ensuring that when a guest arrives and he has his same butler, there's never a shift change, so that there's no chance of any infections happening during that stay. But also, we've created obviously an app via WhatsApp with our staff. So in fact, if you don't want to even encounter staff, you don't have to. You can order your meals, you can order your cocktail drinks, you can speak about your activities via WhatsApp on our island with our free internet, that you don't even have to come into contact with staff. All of our meals, all of our dining in Azura has always been what we call every day is different dining, which means you eat in a different location all the time. So from breakfast to lunch and dinner, it's all about creating unique locations. We try not to have guests eat in the same place twice. However, during COVID, guests may choose to want to stay closer to their home and closer to their villas. So what we're going to be offering is complimentary in-room dining. So you can dine any meal in your villa, on your villa deck, because remember, our decks are so big that we have a sofa on our outside deck, as well as a sofa indoors, as well as a dining table on your deck as well. So you can dine on your deck, you can dine in your room, you can dine around your own private pool, or you can dine on the beach in front of your villa. Because remember also, every one of our villas have their own private swimming pool. Then, of course, community is vitally important for Azura. Azura was built around a community. So actually, in some of our logos, you'll see it'll say Azura at Gabriel's, because Gabriel used to own a campsite on this land. And when we came and we bought this land from him, we said we're going to include you in our product. So he's a full Exco member on our property and our product, and is involved in the tourism aspects on a daily basis with us. So we're very strongly involved. We created the Rainbow Fund, so a portion of people's stay goes towards the community on the island. We built a school on the island, so we're helping to educate the children in a primary school on the island. We've just finished building a clinic and a hospital on the island as well. So everything about Azura is to include and support and look after the community. We know this area is exceptionally pristine. We know it's remote. We're also looking after families, so we're very good at looking after family travel. And then, of course, everything is about the unique and amazing experiences that you can have when you're in and around Azura. So like I said, all of our villas are directly on the beach and have a pool. So just some of these images, you can see how close to the beach these villas are. This is our presidential villa and our 2 royal beach villas. But all of the villas at Azura open up onto this completely translucent Azure water. And most importantly, we face a westerly direction. So you do get properties on the mainland, but remember they face east. So you can see sunrise at 4:30 in the morning if you want to get up and see it. And then you don't see sunset because it's behind you. Also, the mainland has got quite a lot of mosquitoes. We don't have malaria on our island at all. There are mosquitoes, but you'll hardly find them because we do have a program where we reduce the life of the mosquitoes and we spray poison and all of that. So you don't get affected by the mosquitoes on the island. What I'm going to do as well, Cameron, I'll email you all of our plans for all of our villas, so that if your consultants are speaking to a client and they want to have a look at the different types of villa categories, how big they are, what kind of space is there. We've got all of these floor plans, which I've rendered into nice little drawings, and I can send these to you for you to showcase and show your guests. Okay, so, I mean, as you know, we've got 1 presidential villa, we've got 2 royal beach villas, then we've got 10 infinity villas, we've got 1 family villa called the Villa Amazad, and then there's 3 beach villas and 3 luxury beach villas. To give you an idea, these infinity beach villas are our biggest number, so there's 10 of those, and our luxury beach villa, there's no difference in these 2 villas other than the bathroom on the infinity villa is slightly bigger. That's the only difference. There's a bath and a shower, whereas here you'll see there's only just a shower, outdoor shower and an indoor shower. But every one of these villas has a big deck as well. Like I said, it's got a sofa plus a table and your big massive plunge pool. And our simple, straightforward entry villa, even the straightforward beach villas, these are very nice as well with their own pool, also outdoor decks, a private lounging sala area. and are all directly out onto the beach. But remember, Cameron, we will also, any of your clients that come and stay with us, we will happily offer a complimentary upgrade subject to availability when they come and stay with us. Okay, all of our villas are luxurious, they're private, they're spacious, and more importantly, they're all open directly out onto the beach. So you remember I told you about the wining and the dining. Remember, eating, all of our meals are included. We do have a fantastic choice at all meal times. So whether you're into seafood or meat dishes or vegetarian, you let us know and we make sure we prepare that for you. But we've got some of these great dining locations that we create and we look after. Like this is one of my personal favorites. This is the one where we put a Mozambican dhow on the boat, on the ocean, and then we seat you in the dhow itself with lots of lanterns, where you can actually sit in a dhow and have dinner. And I think that's really great. Now, people often talk about what else can we do when we're in Mozambique or in this area. Of course, there's a host of activities you can do, from private island drives to diving, to snorkeling, to fishing, to horse riding, to dhow sails, to spa treatments. There's a lot that's going on. Like I said, the two coolest activities to do is a dhow sail, to go on a traditional Mozambican dhow and to be sailed around during sunset. We've now included that from a 3-night stay, so that will be free of charge, and the island drive to come and experience the island as well. Keeping in mind, a lot of people don't realize that Bazaruto and Benguera Island is an island at the moment that actually has a growing desert on that island. So you've got desert dune sand that flows into powdery white beach sand. And that's quite cool to actually climb up those towering dunes, enjoy the great views, maybe do some dune boarding down, and then see how that blends into your proper coral white beach sand as you go onto the beaches. So we've got an activity, Cameron, which I call our signature activity. It's probably the best thing to do when you're there, which is called an island hop experience. An island hop experience, just so that you know, you would leave after breakfast in the morning, and they would take you on a boat, and you would go to the southern tip of Bazaruto Island. You would climb up the Bazaruto dune, enjoy the views or whatever you want to do, and then come down. Then we take you onto that famous Pansy Island, where they have that famous pansy shell, which is just a sandbank in the middle of the ocean. Once we're done there, we go to 2 Mile Reef, which is now one of the top 10 dive and snorkeling spots in the world. It's a hugely untapped and undamaged reef, and it is very, very close to us. Then we end off on this northern point. So this northern point is a 2-kilometer stretch of just sand formations on the northern point of Benguera Island, which is an ideal spot for us to do a private picnic just for you and your partner. And you sit and chill there and have a picnic lunch and something completely, for the rest of the afternoon until you want to come home. And then on the way back, we can stop at Peri Peri Beach Club, where you can jam to some funky music to our DJs. And if you're hungry, or have a cocktail drink, and then walk back to your villa in the evening. 2 Mile Reef, as I told you, people often don't know why they call it 2 Mile Reef. And that's because the length of the reef is 2 miles long. That's on the right side, you've got Bazaruto Island, and this is Benguera Island. So it's through the channel, and you have the reef very easily accessible in this area. So at low tide, we take guests there, and it's like an aquarium. You just float on this mirrored water, and you look at the incredible sea life below. Okay, so Peri Peri Beach Club. I told you about this exciting beach club. Just a couple of images to get you really excited about Peri Peri. We've created this cool shabby chic look of this main bar area with a nice swimming pool. You can either sit and suntan in the shallow waters, or you can sit in the deeper waters and swim. And then we've got lots of these little salas that go around this. Even on the main bar itself, we have some stools, and we've got these swings where you can sit there on a swing and order your drink and your cocktail. And then, of course, if you want to have some food or anything like that, you can do that. These tree houses are 2.5 meters up in the sky. So you walk up a platform deck. This is completely secluded. So you can lie on this day bed with a view of the ocean. You're completely private, and you can have a romantic moment with your partner in complete privacy. Or on the ground, we've got 5 of the ground level ones with a nice corner sofa for you just to sit there and chill. In terms of the food here, we actually have a barbecue in the center of the table. So either They can prepare your food for you directly on the grill, or you can flavor it and cook it yourselves. A lot of South Africans want to be given some peri-peri chicken or some meat or some peri-peri or prawns or fish, and they want to try and grill it themselves while sitting on their table. This can be done. Or alternatively, you can just order something from our restaurant. We sometimes in the evenings, we'll put cushions around and we put an old Mozambican dao sail up, and we showcase some old romantic movies. So you can sit there, have a cocktail, holding hands with your partner and watch an old romantic movie like Pretty Woman or Out of the Blue or something like that. So that's peri-peri, quite cool and quite exciting. Now, Cameron, I know your team is quite young and trendy, so I'm sure everyone is involved in Instagram. So be sure to follow us on Instagram. These are just a few images that have been posted in the last few months at Azura Benguela. We have been open for the last 4 months. We have had an arrival at least every arrival or two every week of local Mozambican residents. So if you guys, Karen, are targeting Mozambican residents, you must let me know. I can send you some Mozambique resident specials as well, because the Mozambique residents have always been allowed to travel. But be sure to follow on our Instagram. It's called Azura Retreats. What's important is our IGTV videos, where we've created also virtual videos and some live videos of a range of activities and experiences. You can see what a sunset looks like. You can have a walk around peri-peri. You can see what a private picnic will look like. It's quite cool to actually be part of our Instagram, and even use that if you want to refer clients to that. But remember, Cameron, if there's any videos that your team wants or needs that they want to use to close a client to come to us, let us know, and we can certainly do that for them. So just a couple of USPs.
You can send us the videos. We can link onto your packages on our website so they can just grab them there.
Yeah, perfect. I'm going to do that. And then I've just created a list here, Cameron. So I'm going to send you all of these slides as well, that you can have them. Just if you want to speak to clients about unique selling points, why maybe this area as opposed to another, or why Mauritius as opposed to Mozambique. So I've just created this list of unique selling points, which I'm not going to go over now, but you guys can read it in their own time. I don't know if you even were aware, just this particular one here, there's a natural water filtration system that happens on the island. People often wonder, you've got 3,000 people living on the island. How can they survive with fresh water on an island? So we've got freshwater lakes on the island. So there's not that much rainfall. We maybe have very, very few days of rainfall a year, yeah? So how come there's so much fresh water on the island? Well, the natural filtration works where the first lake is formed straight off the ocean, which is then semi-seawater. That then filters through sand into a lake next to that and reduces the salt content. By the third lake, you've got 100% fresh water you can drink. And that's seawater that's been filtrated. That's quite amazing, actually, to be involved in that. But like I said as well, we're very much involved in the community. So when we do our island drives, we take you around the island. You can meet the local community. The staff will take you into their own homes. I like to be taken into a local shebeen on the island. I want to take a few rands with me. I want to go and buy a beer from their shack, listen to their music, have a chat to these guys. That's quite a cool thing to do, is to actually meet and understand the local community and get involved with them. Every time you eat at Azura, you're supporting the local community, because we only buy our seafood from the local fishermen from Benguela Island, so that we are supporting them and helping them, survive and have a better lifestyle as well. I don't know if you are aware of Santa Carolina. That is an island kind of quite far up next to Bazaruta Island. It was the old Paradise Island. That is where the famous singer Bob Dylan once came on holiday and was inspired to write a song called Mozambique. So most people didn't know this existed. Go to YouTube, Google Bob Dylan Mozambique, and you'll actually listen to the song he wrote whilst playing a piano in the bar at that hotel about the beauty of this Bazaruta archipelago. And the song is called Mozambique. So it's quite a cool story as well. Social distancing, Cameron, and in fact, at Azura has always been what we do anyway. Of course, we have all the protocols in place and sterilizations, and guests will get free masks and sanitization and, You know, you'll always have private dining, and all your activities are going to be private. So from a health point of view, we've got everything running there. But that's been natural for us. We do that private for our guests anyway. Okay, so just to let everyone know, there's a seat in paradise waiting for you and your clients, and I think it should be worthwhile for you guys to try sell more and more Azura. Cameron, you and I will have a chat. I am happy to sit and create an incentive for yourself and the Thompson's staff. Something where we can maybe even look at, you can accumulate bed nights over a period of time. You might remember we did this once before, I think when I was at Anantara. I'm happy to work on something like this for you that can benefit the company. But more importantly, I want to do something that can benefit the consultants as well. So historically, people would say, okay, so many bed nights you sell, you have a bed night and you can come and stay yourself. But some people don't want to come and stay here because they can't afford to pay the air ticket prices. So I would be happy to put something in place that when you reward and you get these bed nights, those bed nights can then be sold back to a client or back to the company or whatever. And the money made from those bed nights you can keep, and then you can go buy yourself handbags, shoes, and clothing. So we'll certainly talk about that. Okay. And then on our website, if you ever want more information about our community, just go onto our website, the Azura Giving Back section, where you'll learn everything about our local community, the choirs, the children. We teach them to dance. We're teaching them about hospitality and tourism. And we now teach English in the school, so that traditionally they only spoke Portuguese. They can now speak English as well. And that's basically all I'm going to tell you today. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Any question?
I don't have a question. Maybe your team, someone has a question. So Cameron, you got the special rates that I sent you today, yeah? I
did, yeah.
Okay, so if you have any questions on those, just let me know. So you'll see, I think from a 3-night stay, our cheapest room category net to you guys is 3,500 a night per person. From a 7-night stay, that rate gets reduced to 3,200 a night. And it includes all those extras I said, including the boat transfer, including the road transfer to the boats, including your meals, including your drinks. Actually, it's a damn good deal for such an upmarket product.
It is.
A quick question.
Yes.
How many nights would you recommend to stay?
I would recommend at least 4 nights. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
When you stay 3 nights, you only have 2 full days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is very, very short. So, I mean, obviously, the longer you can stay, the better. If I have to look at what South Africans are doing when they go to Mauritius and when they go to Zanzibar, they're staying a minimum of 4 or 5 nights.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So we are also happy to negotiate. If you've got clients that are looking and they want longer stays, come and talk to us and say, hey, Gav, I've got this client. He wants to stay 8 nights. What can you offer him? Depending on the time, depending on the availability, we can do something that can really make it worth their while. But I would say at least,
okay,
in all truth, a minimum of 4 nights, because that gives you 3 full days to do something in relaxation. Longer is normally better, of course. The longer you can stay, the better. It would be great to be able to stay 2 weeks. Can you imagine? Oh. Cameron sends you to come stay 2 weeks with us, and we'll give you internet in your room so you can work whilst you're drinking a cocktail in the ocean.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's a good question. Thank you.
Sure.
Any question?
Yeah, so Cameron, I mean, I think start working on those rates, start getting them out. I mean, just to let, I mean, as Cameron, as you know, we had in the last 4 months, we had got 50 bookings, just over 50 from South African residents that booked for Azura, as you know, when we did those vouchers, and they paid 100% upfront. And they're now coming back saying as soon as now the borders are open, they're going to pick their date. So it's very, very active. And these bookings did not come from the traditional channels. Not Barefoot Breaks, not you guys, not Mozambique Tours, not Mozambique Travel. They came from the most odd travel agents I'd never heard of in my life before. So I know what's been happening. These are agents that have had clients that would have gone to Mauritius or Madagascar or Seychelles or France or Europe or New Zealand or wherever. And these South Africans have budgeted this money to go somewhere, and they now want to go somewhere that's not too far away from home. And Mozambique has suddenly become a very attractive option for them. So make sure you work your databases as much as you can, because I think you can do exceptionally well.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Kevin.
No, you're welcome. Okay, Cameron, you and I will catch up soon. But I just want to say thank you very much to everyone for your time. You can see my cat has even been excited about me chatting to you guys. She's been here listening, mowing, saying she wants to go to Azura.
He wants to go on a holiday.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. Eh? Everyone does, me and you.
Thank you very much.
No, okay, perfect, guys. Thank you very much. Eh?
Great stuff.
Take care, my friend. Ciao, bye-bye.